Breaking news right now, a police pursuit downtown Los Angeles. Gil Levis live overhead. He's in Sky 9. Gil?
Sandra, you're not going to believe this, but it's another burglary suspect out of the Industry Sheriff's area. This is now in the downtown LA area on Alameda, southbound from the 101 freeway. A high-speed pursuit coming down the 60 freeway at reaching speeds of about 85 miles an hour. This Audi has been traveling at those speeds, breakneck speeds, on the freeway and now on surface streets through LA. And you can see him coming through the traffic there. Wrong side of the road, almost hits that guy, but continuing. He's just very reckless. It's almost a carbon copy of the pursuit that we had the other day. High speeds, in and out of lanes on the wrong side of the road, high speeds on the freeway, and it's incredible that this is happening once again here in the LA area. Southbound Alameda here, and he's coming through another signal there. Red light, opposing traffic going right through, and again continuing. Now the CHP is now in trail of this pursuit, but he is going through the LAPD's area. And look at this, the CHP is trying to get into a position where they could possibly pit maneuver him, but he continues to evade these officers. Here's the 10 freeway here now. He's made his way from the 101 to the 10 freeway in minutes, in less than minutes, just weaving his way in and out of traffic there. You can see that all across lanes, just trying to find his way. Now he's right turn here. We'll try to get that street for you. This might be Olympic Boulevard. I'm sorry, 15th Street. It's 15th Street, and again, underneath the 10 freeway here, westbound, through that stop sign, just blowing lights, blowing traffic signals, and stop signs, just not caring for the general public here. Once again, here he goes, left turn southbound. We'll try to get that street for you. It appears to be, I'll try to get that for you here, Hooper, southbound Hooper, underneath the 10 freeway. Again, high speeds. He's going about 60 miles an hour here on these surface streets. We're going to, he's approaching some heavy traffic here. We lost him behind the building here, but there he goes, right turn, and it's Washington, I believe here. Washington Street from, I'm sorry, I'm pausing to hear the police traffic on the scanners here. Washington from Hooper, westbound, and again, just weaving in and out. Very dangerous pursuit here as he's traveling on surface streets in the downtown LA area.
Gil, we can see those other drivers trying to get out of the way, but boy, when he comes up on them so fast, it's difficult to get out of the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely difficult. You can see him just blowing through, not a care in the world, you know, as he comes through these intersections here. There's, you know, opposing traffic coming through those signals, and he's just coming right up to them and being really aggressive, saying, hey, get out of my way, I'm coming through. And here he goes again. Middle of the road there. He has no problems taking that opposing traffic, just coming on the wrong side of the road. But again, southbound Central now here, approaching Adams, and there he goes again, wrong side of the road, into those oncoming cars, and just continuing through. Here he goes, speeding up, taking off away from those CHP units that are behind. Now, here we go, look at this. Very aggressive move by the CHP, boxing him in here. He's backing up into officers. That's never a good sign. Officers with gun drawn, and it didn't look like there was any shots fired. He did make a right turn there, but that officer had his gun drawn, trying to get this guy to stop, and that didn't even stop him.
Well, I imagine how that other driver that was in front of him felt, even though it would have helped police if he didn't pull out of the way. Your inclination is just to get out of the way when you see somebody like this coming at you.
Yeah, it's westbound on Adams here now. You know, an officer with a gun pointed right at you did not stop you. That tells you that this guy is very desperate to get away. Again, burglary suspects out of the Industry area, and again, high-speed chase coming out of that area, made it down here in about 15 minutes. It's incredible how much ground he made driving on that freeway. But you can see him just exploding here on this street here southbound. I'll try to get you that street here in a minute, but again,
wow, he is really picking up speed.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, opposing traffic. You see, it looked like there might have been an LAPD officer there coming the other direction, trying to block off the roads here. But again, now I'm going to pull out here, and you can see the CHP is in trail quite a ways. But again, we have a police airship over here that's tracking this pursuit as well. But again, 80 miles an hour we're hearing now, 80 miles an hour on this surface street. I'm trying to get you that street here in just a second. It looks like this might be San Pedro that he's on. But again, such high speeds on these surface streets, so dangerous. You know, you got people on foot out here that could be crossing the street, as we saw in the last pursuit, But again, here he goes, right turn here onto a minor street here, a residential area, 43rd Street. Here he's going over bumps here. Again, this is a blue Audi vehicle here. Now he's coming across traffic there, and almost hitting that white car there. But then continuing, now that CHP officer almost got in an accident there as he came through that intersection. But again, westbound here, 43rd place from Maine. 43rd place from Maine. Again, high speeds through this neighborhood, just ridiculous speeds on these residential streets. Coming up to Broadway here now. Let's see which way he goes. He's going to go southbound Broadway from that 43rd place. Wrong side of the road. Unbelievable. I mean, just continuing to do this in dramatic fashion here. Right turn now.
80 miles an hour on surface streets. It's hard to believe that this guy can keep control, Gil.
Yeah, I mean, so far he hasn't hit anybody that we've seen. Now here he comes underneath the 110 freeway, I believe that is. And let's see what he does here. He looks like he's in traffic here. We're confirming that no shots were fired there in that. Oh, he came out the other way. Almost fooled us here in Sky 9. He came out, made a U-turn under that bridge, and now he's eastbound towards Broadway here, and southbound now. He's coming southbound at us on Broadway.
And we see that pedestrian in the crosswalk there. And again, as you said, Gil, this is very similar to the pursuit we saw on Tuesday.
It's okay, we're good. Yeah, it's very amazing. This guy is passing directly under us. We're going to turn this camera around and make sure we get a shot of him. But again, you know, dramatic moves by this driver trying to get away. I mean, he's very desperate. He's willing to do anything to get away, even you know, going in front of a officer with his gun drawn. It's ridiculous. But here we go. CHP taking an aggressive move there, trying to block off lanes. He's making that right turn westbound on a small street. I'll try to get that for you. But you can see the officers in trail here. We also have LAPD that's trying to get into this pursuit and at least trying to get the streets blocked off so that no one gets injured. But again, a high-speed chase like this is very difficult for those officers to, you know, get into those positions in a timely manner. I mean, 80 miles an hour on these surface streets, that's ridiculous.
And Gil, where are you right now? What neighborhood is this?
This is South LA. He's approaching Hoover. Approaching Hoover. I don't have the street he's on here. It goes northbound Hoover from 51st.
And as we mentioned,
and here we go. CHP.
Looks like he's moving in.
It looks like the CHP wanting to get into that position, but you see the opposing traffic that's coming. The CHP has to be very careful not to, impede anybody else that's coming or injure anybody. So they are, they have a tough job there in this pursuit, trying to bring this pursuit to an end and not injure anybody on the road. So CHP doing a great job here, keeping up with this guy. They have the airship overhead. Look at that guy squeezing right through those cars. Unbelievable speeds here, accelerating through that. There's pedestrians right there crossing the street again, and northbound coming up on 41st Street. Hoover and 41st, they're making the turn on 41st, we believe, and continuing on these residential areas, speeding through. This is deja vu from the other day. I mean, just driving these breakneck speeds on the surface streets like this is just out of control.
And same area of town where the last pursuit ended.
Yeah, pretty much. Here's the pursuit. Oh, they almost did that pit right there. Did not quite get the opportunity to do it. He accelerated away from that officer, that CHP officer. But again, a close call there, almost bringing that pursuit to an end. But they're going to try at every opportunity to get that car stopped, through the pursuit intervention technique that they call it.
Yeah, they got very close. He just slipped away from them.
Now that was interesting. You saw the one CHP overshoot the guy as he turned. And here he goes. It looks like he's slowing down here, but thinking about maybe trying to jump out and run, but he thought second. But that officer that overshot him, the secondary officer in that pursuit, picked up the pursuit. Now he is the lead officer now. This is going across Normandy now. 41st and Normandy. There he goes. Westbound 41st from Normandy. Now southbound on Brighton Avenue from 41st. So again, he got some speed bumps there, but that's not stopping him. I mean, he's blowing right over those speed bumps. Again, blue Audi here, burglary suspects out of the industry area. and this pursuit continuing here at high speeds through South LA.
Gil, it's kind of hard for me to tell. Is he going into different areas, or is he repeating on the same streets?
No, he's definitely going into different areas. It doesn't seem like he knows exactly where he's going. I think he's just desperate to get away and willing to take any street possible to make that happen. But yeah, he's not gone through any of the same streets. He may end up on the same streets, but going either westbound or eastbound. So not necessarily looking for a familiar place, it seems like. And
also makes it hard for the CHP to get in front of him to try and set up a roadblock.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to get a look into the car to see if there's additional suspects in the vehicle, and couldn't really see. The windows are tinted there. This is Martin Luther King Boulevard, eastbound, and here he goes. He looked like he may have clipped that car. Our Fernando from TOC with an eagle eye there saying that he may have actually clipped that vehicle as he made that turn.
And it looked like there was another officer coming the other direction.
Yeah, yeah. The LAPD is scrambling to try to, block off streets here for the CHP as they continue on this. But again, at these speeds, you can see how difficult that is to try to get into position as they continue on. People in the street here, those speed bumps not affecting him. But again, there's a woman walking down the street with groceries, and here he goes again, right by that pickup truck. CHP right on his tail, westbound now on. Let me see if I get the street for you here. This is Vernon again. So now he's kind of repeating the streets and the area. He's made kind of a loop here now, but here he goes now. Just as I say that, he goes southbound here on Danker, southbound Danker, and that CHP officer is chomping at the bit to get that pit maneuver on this guy as he makes those turns, and that's really a good opportunity to do the pit because the car does slow down, and he's able to target that rear bumper to spin that car out of control and make it come to a stop. But again, here he goes. I'm going to zoom in again to see if we can see this guy, what he's doing in the car. And it's coming up to 51st. It looks like he might be on his cell phone. He had something in his right hand there. And it's possible that there might be a passenger in that front passenger seat. It looks like I'm seeing maybe a pair of shorts or pants there. It might be the seat, but definitely quite a ride there for that passenger. But again, here we go. The CHP coming right up on his tail, very aggressive, wanting to bring that pursuit to an end. But continuing through 54th. There it goes, pit right there. Hit him onto the curb, up on the sidewalk, almost into that house, but continuing. There's a man jumping out of the road. Unbelievable. This is very, very dangerous for these people here in this neighborhood. High speeds. The officers almost got him there on that pit, but he somehow was able to control as he hit that fence and continued on. Unbelievable. He's approaching Normandy now. He slowed down a little bit, but then again, there he goes. Just as I say that.
Well, it certainly looks like this guy is not going to give up. Gil Leyva's overhead.
Oh, no.
All right, Gil, we got you back.
No, he's... Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, officers coming through that intersection almost hit. There's a kid running out of the way there. It's just unbelievable that this guy is just continuing to go. Now, we're hearing that maybe he damaged one of his tires. There might be some smoke coming from that front tire, and yes, I can see that now. The passenger front tire looks like it's smoking, and this pursuit may be coming to an end here. Here's CHP again, pulling right out there. Let's see, they might try the pit here. Let's see, he's going to go. Here it is. He's coming around. We're going to try to get around these buildings real quick. Nope, he's making that westbound turn from Vermont, and now's the chance. This guy's car is somewhat damaged when he went up on that curb, so now is a good opportunity for the CHP to try to bring this to an end, try to disable that car completely. And but at this point, this guy is showing no signs of slowing down. There's the smoke coming out of that. His brakes might be burning. That might be what's going on.
Right. It seems like when he makes turns is when it's smoking.
Yes. Yes, definitely. This is eastbound off of Budlong, and it looks like it's 57th Street. And look at this. He's going to pass that red car. Unbelievable. Just right through. I'm going to zoom out here as he goes under us, and we'll try to get you the next street that he's coming up. And here he comes onto that major surface street, coming right through there. And again, just continuing eastbound here. This looks like it's possibly 59th Street. But no signs of slowing down. I mean, even though his car seems like it's smoking and possibly disabled there, that front passenger tire just smoke in there. But he's not worried about that either. He had a gun pointed at him. He's gone into traffic. You know, he's just all over the place. He doesn't have any concern for the general public here, as well as those officers. But here we go. Let's see. They're going to try that pit maybe here, and he's going to make that right turn again. So he's avoiding that pit there with that right turn. And I imagine that he's going to try that again if he sees that officer come up on him. This is Figueroa from 57th Street, blowing through that intersection. People driving out of the way that are seeing him coming. They're seeing this guy driving erratically, coming at him. There's another car driving out of the way. I mean, here he goes right across the lines, down the center of the street, hitting some traffic here. I'm going to zoom out. Look at that tire. Look at that smoking tire. Eastbound. And again, CHP is not giving up. They're just right on his tail. They're doing an excellent job out here. This is the 110 freeway, and continuing on that residential street. This is Broadway that he's approaching here. Cross traffic, red light, right through the intersection. Some papers came out. They may have thrown something out of there. That might have been debris off the road, but this guy is just unbelievable. He's just continuing on. I mean, the luck that this guy has blowing through these intersections, he hasn't hit anybody. I mean, it's a miracle that that hasn't happened. But here he is, hard on the brakes. There's a passenger, another lady with a kid running out of the way. I mean, this is like a deja vu from the other day. I mean, just again, just ridiculous. This guy has no care for people, for kids. A lady with a kid there running across the intersection there to get out. Now look at this. This car, I don't know if that car did that on purpose or not. He may have been trying to get out of the way, but look at that, right through that intersection, just missing that car. I mean, seriously, this is out of control, and those CHPs staying with the pursuit, as well as the airship overhead.
And we see on the ground it says slow school crossing, and obviously he has no regard for any children that might be in the area.
Yeah, I mean, that poor lady trying to figure out what's going on there with the child in her hand and just pulling. Look at that, that officer overshot again, but the secondary officer right there to pick up the pursuit. An excellent job of the CHP trying to keep up with this guy and bring it to an end. This is, I'll try to get the street here, but he's westbound now. Westbound from Main Street, coming out to Broadway, almost hitting that pickup truck. I mean, he's had so many close calls. Here's the major. Broadway, he's going to go northbound, that right turn. He keeps him out of that pit, but here it goes. Here's the pit, and this could be it. Passenger door opening, passenger fleeing, rear passenger running, and now the driver is, now this may be the driver here, one or the two. I believe it's I'm gonna go this guy. I believe that this is the driver that may have come out of that passenger side.
Yeah, we saw at least two people get out of the vehicle.
Yeah, this might be the passenger, actually. He did come out of that passenger side. I didn't see the driver come out. I saw one come out of the back. I saw one coming out of the back of the car, and but at this point, you know, this is the guy that the airship is following, actually. So they may think that this actually may be the driver, but here he is, tucked in under this fruit tree, trying to escape. But again, you know. Now it looks like he's trying to get into that house, actually. We got a dog that's chasing him. Hey, John, if we can slide to the right, I got my pilot, John Tamburo, who's doing a great job up here. But he may have exited that once he saw that dog. But again, we're going to try to locate him. He went under the trees, and the officer, or the airship overhead, has lost him as well. But again, here comes the police into this area to try to corral this guy. But he was last seen in this house here. But that dog, once that dog engaged him, he may have bolted. So they're talking about a greenhouse here. They may have seen him here. So he may have jumped the fence. But again, two suspects at least coming out of the car. I'm going to zoom back into the termination point and see what they have here. It looks like that car has been cleared. So those two suspects, the one that went to the east and one that went to the west, one of those two are the drivers. One with the white shirt, one with the dark shirt. And here we go. Let's see. Now that's that looks like that's the resident. She's trying to let the officers into this house, but she thinks that maybe he might be in this yard. So we're going to keep an eye on this house. This is where we last saw him, and he may have actually got into that house. So as the officer there is approaching, we're going to try to get around to see if we can actually see what's going on that side of the house. It's going to be the east side of the house, John.
It looked like he was shaking something there on the side of the house. So as you said, Gil, he might have been trying to gain entry there. And a rather big dog. To me, it looked like a German Shepherd.
Yeah, that dog wasn't messing around. He was doing his job for that homeowner. And when that suspect saw him, he had second thoughts and went either into the house or over the fence. So unfortunately, those big trees blocked our view to see if he actually ran to the front. But it seems like that resident there letting the officer in seems to think that maybe he is on her property still.
And we're getting new information right now. Apparently one person involved in this pursuit has been taken into custody, and it might be a woman. And Gil, we've been talking about how similar this is to the pursuit that we had on Tuesday. And in that, we also saw a man and a woman.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the people that were just on the streets, I mean, it just seemed like a mirror image of the other day. The speeds, the even what these suspects were wanted for, you know, for burglary, and coming out of the east towards the west. I mean, it's just a mirror image of what we went through just a couple days ago.
Just saw that dog running around there in the center of the screen, but it didn't look like he was chasing anybody.
No, that officer
right
looks like he made his way into that property down the side. Now, wait, I seen a white shirt. John, if we can hold here, it sounds like they may have him in custody. Let's see. There's going to walk. There he is. There, that's it. They got him on that side of the house. The dog actually aiding the officers, and maybe he pinned him down. But it looks like he may be possibly bleeding from the leg. So the officers got him in custody. That's one of them. The other one, we're not sure of what the status is. We'll try to find out that information. But LAPD officers assisting the CHP in this pursuit, bringing this guy into custody. That dog in that backyard, he sure did his job.
Yes, if he's bleeding from the leg, you say the LAPD might have got him. The dog might have got him as well. Right side of your screen right now is the end of this pursuit. South Los Angeles, you see two people get out of the car and start running, but officers are right on their tail. It took a little while, but it looks like both people are now in custody, Gil.
Yeah, now we're also hearing, here's the second suspect. It looks like a female being put in the back seat there of that cruiser, and they're saying that they have one female in custody. So one male, one female in custody now at this point. It's possible that there might have been a third suspect that jumped out. Maybe that female jumped out after we followed the driver. That may have been the case. So there could be, it's potentially that there are 3 people outstanding, or now just two in custody and maybe one outstanding still.
It's hard to believe from what we've just seen over the past few minutes that nobody was injured, because this was very reckless driving through red lights, wrong side of the street, up on the sidewalk at one point.
Yeah, and that pit maneuver that almost stopped them on that surface street when they made that left turn, just avoiding the termination at that point, but then continuing on for another, 5-10 minutes at least after that. But again, at least 2 suspects into custody now at this point after this high-speed pursuit out of the city of Industry.
All right, if you're just joining us, this is the end of a police pursuit on KCAL 9. It started in the city of Industry, as Gil mentioned, with burglary suspects. 2 people now in custody. They went down the freeways, the 101, the 60, speeds up to 85 miles an hour. And then the incredible part, speeds up to 80 miles an hour, Gil, on the surface streets.
That's right. When I heard that, I mean, you could tell that he was going fast, and it's hard. It's a little bit difficult to track on the surface streets like that. Since we're moving a little bit slower, we're able to track him from a distance. But when I heard the officer behind quoting a 80-mile-an-hour speed limit on those surface streets, it's just, amazing that no one got hurt.
All right, the end of a pursuit in South Los Angeles. Both suspects now in custody. We'll bring you any more information as soon as we get it. And of course, we'll have the very latest coming up on our KCAL 9 News at 2 o'clock today. Gil Levis, thanks again. Excellent coverage out there this afternoon. Nobody hurt and 2 people in custody.